Right then, well today we have Pico's new signal kits to review. Now, full disclosure, these were sent to me free by Pico for review purposes. They haven't paid me to do so, but I have received them. It's nearly £30 worth of stock, and I'm very thankful for that. I will do my very best to be unbiased in the review. I haven't opened the boxes yet, haven't had a proper look at them, but be aware of that throughout this. These have been received free. I do get to keep them afterwards, even if I make a mess of them. And beyond that, there's no gain. I have no affiliation with Pico. I have the links I'll hopefully put onto this video to where you can buy this. I gain nothing from them. They're not affiliate links at all. But for clarity, I want to start with that. So let's be simple to begin with, which is the single arm. Now this one obviously maybe missed some text off. Non-working models requires painting. Semaphore arms pre-printed. What that means. That text is sort of on the other ones to some extent. Non-working model requires painting. Semaphore arms pre-printed. It can be built as left hand or right hand version. And then the joint, home and distance, and again non-working model requires painting. So we'll just have to open it now, see what we have. Let's start with the simplest, which is the single, home or distance. So you get both home and distant semaphore arms in the kit, presumably. Right. Try to keep as much of this on camera as I can. Oh, best to open it properly. Right, we have there, excellent. You can see that. I'll turn it the right way up. So ratio plastic models, not that it's plastic, that's definitely an etched part. Very fine. Ah, there we go. Yes. Okay, so they are, as said, the arms are painted. Both sides on the sprue. Okay. So that's good. 4 in a pack. Interesting. Nice finish to that actually. It's well painted. Or printed in this case. But yep. So that's on the second sprue. What else do we have? We have the instructions, but we also have a detail bag, which has some of the lenses. It also seems to have a, not quite a track pin, but a pin of some kind in it. Is that for the pivoting of the semaphore arm? Not sure. I think these are meant to be non-working models, so we'll have to look at that and see. Ah, okay. Plenty of instructions. And there we have the post. Okay. Right, so that surprises me, I confess, but it comes as a split. The post is split in two, half each on the sprue, and that's the part that I think is going to require the most painting to pick out the base and the lower post in black. But it's all there, including the finial on top. It's very fine. When you see this, you realize, yeah, these things are small. Very small, very fine. And there's the base in order to anchor it into the ground, so it sits at that level. Okay. So on here, I didn't check. Yes, okay, so you have the counterweight as well on here. Okay. That clarifies that. Excellent. Right. Equipment required. Polystyrene cement, glue, scalpel to remove parts from sprues, fine nose tweezers, side cutters. Take care when cutting, as a sharp offcut can fly away at speed. Wear safety glasses, etc. Enamel or acrylic modeler's paint. Then has this comment: the signal is intended as a static model, although the arm can be posed manually. There is an extra hole in the signal arm and in the base to assist those that wish to make the signal operable with lengths of fine wire not included. Okay. Right, that makes slightly more sense. I was thinking, see, from the picture there is a piece of wire attached to the counterweight, which is not included because it's intended to be a static model only, presumably. So the first thing is simple enough, which is to glue the two sides of the post together, ensure they're aligned properly, then fit the lamp and the counterweight. Both are on the sprue with the signal arms, so the small lamp at the top, counterweight on the base. Then fit the coloured lens into the signal arms as shown using a tiny dab of super glue. So you can have red and blue for the home, yellow and blue for the distant, depending on what you want. Okay. Allowed to dry before proceeding to the next stage. Let's see then. Fit the signal arm by threading there's the pin, okay, through the hole in the post, opposite side to the lamp, and carefully pressing through the hole in the signal arm. Secure with a tiny dab of super glue. So what am I super gluing there? What am I securing? Is it the signal arm to the pin, I presume? That will allow it still to be posable that way. Add the ladder to the rear signal, securing with super glue to the fixing detail molded onto the post and supports. Yeah, that's clear enough. So again, having carefully removed the ladder, and that's interesting. The ladder there is shown as having slight returns at the very top, which I didn't notice on the etched part, but I will check that. Trim the excess off the pin, which is going to be substantial. You're going to have to take a huge amount off that pin. And that's it done. Drill a single 6mm diameter hole in the desired position on the baseboard. Okay, so nothing about painting, but I guess that's just left to yourself to do that exactly as and when fits. So not an overly complicated kit in terms of what I can see, and without having actually done it yet, the instructions do appear to be nice and clear, so we'll hopefully find that to be the case. But yeah, I don't entirely understand, forgive my utter ignorance here, but why there should be 4 semaphore arms provided when I think I only need 2 to choose from. But there are 4. Perhaps that's because it's the same. The other ones, I can see they would come with 4 because you've got 2 fitted per each one, but that seems strange. Not that I'm complaining, more is always better than less. The counterweights are extremely fine. In fact, it's fair to say they're minute. You may be able to make that out better, in fact. Trying to zoom in on that. Hang on, get the focus. So is that's the counterweight beside my thumb, and lying on my finger there, that must be the lamp. Can't see with these parts if they have anything at all. Okay. But yep. Very good model so far. Happy with what I've got. And I'll try and put it together and let you know. Okay, so time to look at the other 2 packages. we have the GWR joint home and distance signal kit, and then the GWR bracket signal kit. So that's LK12141 and LK12142. And my intention is, I got given these by Pico for review purposes, so I would like to give them away to my subscribers. So when I hit 800 subscribers, there's plenty of folk who watch this who are not subscribed. If you would like one of these, then 2 of the subscribers will get these sent free in the post. So that's the plan. Hit 800, these then will become giveaway items. So you have to comment on this video and subscribe, and then we can get to our 800 and these will be given away. That's the hope. So I'm just going to open these. I'm not going to build them. I'll keep the other one simply because I have now made it and painted it. But my intention is not to be keeping items I get given for review. If anything comes that way, which was a very pleasant surprise from Pico, I'm very thankful for it. But I think not keeping it as a general policy is what I intend to do. So this will be given away, and let's see what we have inside. Let's do the bracket signal first of all. I'm assuming that we have the same basic packaging, the same little color discs. We have 2 pins in here because the bracket signal. This makes more sense now why we have 4 semaphore arms. These are really very well produced and painted. You have the double counterweights and you have the double lamps as well. So that does make more sense. So rather than simply take away 2 of these, if we've got 1 production that comes in the single one as well. You have very similar sprue. Now then, there's a difference here. Allow me to check this out. What am I seeing? So this then forms a double base. So that attaches to that. Ah, yes. And you can see here's a double wide base. So that comes across on one side, that comes across on the other. I wasn't quite understanding that initially, but that makes perfect sense. You have some timber detailing on the platform base. You have the double ladder section here, which again makes sense. The ladder was actually too long on the last one, although it didn't specify to cut it. There was obviously you had to. It's very easily cut because it's very fine etching. And so that makes, again, reusing the component, designed it for the most material and everything reduces down from there. So that is the bracket signal kit. You have the walkway, you have the handrails, you have the ladder, and you have the base. So this, yeah, and on this one you would have the double counterweight at the bottom and can be built as left or right hand version. So I'm assuming that becomes clearer in the instructions. If we look at these. So yes, there you can see how the 2 halves go together. You can see how the platform fits onto the supports, brackets, and the staging. Yep. Very similar idea. In fact, almost identical. Now, because of the platform here, whilst I could conceive of how you would possibly manage to make this first semaphore arm operable, this would, second one would be very tricky to do. Those with finer motor skills than I have might manage that, but I think for myself I would find that quite difficult to achieve. But yeah, clear instructions, very similar. So that is up for grabs when I get to the 800 subscribers. So if you comment on this video as a subscriber, you will be entered into a competition, and I look forward to see my subscribers suddenly leap forward towards the magical 800 mark. Don't know why 800 particularly should be magical, but it seems the next obvious target when you're at 750 odd or so just now. And that's a bracket. Coming back to the joint, home and distant. Let's just open that again, make sure everything's here before I pack it up again and give it away to some of our subscribers. Yeah, same again, what you've seen before. You have the colored discs, you have the double pins in that one. Obviously much less on the sprue because it is a smaller model. You have the beautifully etched ladder. Now, hold on. There, I thought it was missing, but nope. The semaphore arms. Bring that closer. You can see that. That is really very nicely modelled. Okay. Try to just bring this close as well. They do go together very well, actually. I'm not one for much finesse, I'm afraid, but this certainly works. Okay. So again, we'll just quickly look at the instructions. Screw the halves together, attach the platform, attach the double lamps. Come back, zoom out slightly again. Got the counterweights, home and distant, depending on which one you want to do, and it shows you what lens to use. And attach them the same way. So yeah, again, excellent little models. I do think that these would also be an very beautiful addition, in fact, to anyone's layout. So these are up for grabs. And we'll put that back in there now before I forget to, and before I lose any parts. And I should have put the larger sprue in first, shouldn't I? That would have been sensible, but let's see. Yep, we managed it. So well done, Pico. What do I think then of this range? Let me just go and get the completed model, and here's one I did earlier, as I say. So they are very fine. As you can see, I guesstimated miles wrong for the length of the ladder here. I need to cut that shorter. I need to trim back the pin holding on the semaphore arm. But you can see it is certainly very posable. No difficulty there at all. There's my huffy dog just going past. Again, I also have to trim off the bit of excess bar on the bottom of the semaphore arm there from the screw. So what do I think? Well, I think they're excellent, in truth. But I should start off by perhaps just caveating that slightly. My initial comment and thought was, it's a shame it's in a kit form. I'm not that adept. I'm no professional model maker, as you can tell. And I thought I would rather just buy it off the shelf and put it on the layout, which is what I'd anticipated when I saw these were coming, first of all. But now I actually think Pico have got these right. There's just enough model making in it to allow a sense of achievement. And I think these things on a layout will look very, very good. They're fine scale. They're finer than would have been, I think, readily achievable if it was mass produced and off the shelf directly. So because you have to do a little bit of work, you can, I think, get away with finer details. Now that does mean that some of the details are very small, like the lamp, for example. My eyes just really struggle to pick that up. It's fitted there, but I suspect not exactly brilliantly. Counterweight as well is very fine, but this looks very good, I think. And I think Pico have done an excellent. They've struck the balance well. A few things in the instructions, it would have been good to have, trim ladder to length before I kind of halfway towards gluing it and realizing that. I haven't trimmed the pin down yet, but I will do. I'm slightly nervous about doing that. Make sure I don't damage anything by straining other things in the meantime, so I haven't quite got around to doing it yet. I'm not convinced the pin might not be better the other way around as well, but these are very minor issues. And other modelers will find their own balance for it. But I think these are superb. Well done, Pico. It is a great addition to TT120. It is a modeler's model. Folk with more skill than I have will absolutely make these to a far higher degree of finesse than I've managed here, with no difficulty at all. But folk with less modelling experience than I have shouldn't feel intimidated by them. They're not hard to put together. It's quite difficult to mess them up, because believe me, if they were possible to mess it up, I would have done that. And that hasn't happened. And for that, I'm very thankful. It'd have been difficult to make this video if I'd messed it all up. So I'm glad of them. They are priced well. They're priced just under £10 each. If I'm correct, I'll put prices up on the screen if I've got that wrong. These are available from, not directly from Pico, they don't do direct sales, but they have a strong network of retailers across the country, and you will certainly be able to find them for sale in multiple outlets. And I think that if you're looking for that little bit of extra detail, that little bit of enjoyment from modelling something simple, I was worried when I saw it as a kit that I was going to be expected to model the semaphore arm, or paint it rather, and I just knew I was going to make a mess of that. But that's been done for you. So it's really just the post, black at the bottom, a little bit of colour, splatter of colour at the top, tiny wee strip of black on the bracket, and then paint the ladder as well. Now I did that silver, although they've shown it black, but that's all. That's not going to strain the creative talents of even someone as ham-fisted as myself. I am looking at their, I'll just come out for that, their catalogue TT120 kind of flyer. This is nicely produced as well. It shows their own stuff. On the back it now shows the signal kits. These are obviously perhaps pre-production samples, because I noticed there's no colour discs in the semaphores, and there is a wire connection being made to allow for movement, to indicate movement. So that's not quite as they are, and also I suspect these are hand painted, judging by how they look. So there is some slight difference to the finished product than what's in the catalogue, but these are worthwhile. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this. Hopefully you decide to go and populate your layouts with dozens of signals and add that level of realism that we love to see in the details of our layout. Right then, just to show that it can be made to move. That's not the finest example of it, but I had a little bit of wire. I thought I'd play around with it. It's not quite as straight as it should be. It's not as well fitted, but it does just about allow for some motion. And then just some final shots of it in situ. Drilled the 6mm hole, got it standing in, even relatively plumb, and so just to see it in situ. And I think they look good. Thanks for watching. Do please like, comment, subscribe. We really are missing subscribers. Some folk just, it's not your thing. I understand that. There's not too many of these videos, but it does help the channel. And comment, this giveaway is real. There'll be 2 of these kits sent out to 2 subscribers once I hit the 800 mark. Thanks very much.